Whenever I want to figure out what to do, I almost always look to kids and young people because they're almost always who gives me the best idea or advice on what to actually do that is coming from your heart and coming from a place of welcome and abundance and joy. And so if our kids can model that in the different programs and different opportunities that I can help create for them, then hopefully other people can see that and say, oh, there really is enough space for everybody. There's so many things that I want to do and want to help our kids know about, but the most important thing for them here is to feel like there are people that are excited when they get here, that want to see them, that can't wait to see them. And for some kids, that's just built in innately. And then for other kids, they're not here as often, but it doesn't mean that it's any less important for them. I want them to feel just as welcome if they're here for one Sunday or if they're here every Sunday. I want our kids to learn about the best possible version of God, but also the most expansive one that gives them room for all of the different interpretations of God. It comes back to sort of what I did in my role as a sexual health educator, is that my job wasn't to teach kids necessarily who to be, but it was to give them lots of information so they could figure out who to be. And so I feel like I have a little more role now in helping them be, a good human being. But I also feel like I do have a role in equipping them with lots of information so that they can make decisions that make sense to them. So in church school, we try to talk about Jesus in a way that isn't going to alienate them regardless of the beliefs that their parents have, because I know that we've got families that believe that Jesus is divine, and we also have families that believe Jesus is human. And so I really want to give the kids the opportunity to realize that Jesus could be lots of things. I've had to do some thinking about it too, because I don't always know what I believe, but it also is, I think, important that the kids, that I don't say, and I believe this, and so you should believe it also, because I want each of them to believe what they believe. I think we have spent some time this year sort of reimagining the concept of Jesus. I think a lot of them, no matter what, even if they're small, still have that idea, because you see it in popular culture, of Jesus sort of looking like Matthew McConaughey, but like kind of a surfer, kind of like the dude from Big Lebowski, but also, and God, I've heard more than one kid this year say they imagine God riding around on a cloud skateboard. And so that's been interesting for them to really think about, like, let's try to imagine when Jesus as a brown, poor person on the fringes of society. And what I believe I'm doing in my work is that if our kids are learning, Bible stories, that is important. But what's more important is them learning how to think critically, learning how to be good human beings, and learning how to do things with the gifts and talents and that they've earned and the privileges that maybe they were born into, to actually make the world a better place. That's what I feel like my role is here. And that, I think, can be a really spiritual thing.